Have you ever awakened from a dream with a sense that it meant something more? A symbol that burned itself into your memory, a whisper that felt like a message, a world that seemed as real, perhaps more real than waking life. What if I told you these are not figments of imagination, but encrypted messages from deeper realms of your own being, fragments of a hidden language spoken by the soul? In every culture and era, dreams have been regarded as portals, bridges between the physical and the invisible. The Egyptians saw them as visits from the gods. The Sufis called them veils lifted from the unseen. The Hermeticists treated dreams not as illusions, but as initiations, encoded with symbols meant to guide the seeker. Yet in the modern world, dreams are dismissed as mental noise, forgotten, ignored, suppressed. But if you're watching this, it means you sense otherwise. This video is not about dream interpretation in the casual psychological sense. This is about esoteric dream work, a spiritual path that sees dreams as a sacred dialogue between your waking self and your higher self, a path where every image, every sensation, every encounter is part of a map, leading you inward. In the journey ahead, we will explore the origins of esoteric dream practice, the hidden mechanics of the dreaming mind, and the first essential steps to decoding and using your dreams as spiritual tools. You'll learn how to recognize archetypal symbols, how to prepare your mind for intentional dreaming, and how to extract real-world guidance from nocturnal visions. But most importantly, you'll begin to see that dreams are not things that happen to you. They are invitations from yourself to yourself into a deeper, wiser, more luminous reality. And it all begins with remembering that when you close your eyes, another world opens. Long before the advent of psychology, long before dream dictionaries and pop culture interpretations, the ancients held dreams in the highest regard, not as random firings of the brain, but as messages from the divine. In the temples of ancient Egypt, there existed sacred spaces called incubation chambers, where initiates would sleep in ritual conditions to receive visions from the gods. These dreams were not interpreted casually. They were studied, contemplated, and recorded by priests trained in symbolic language. Dreams were seen as prophecy, healing, and communication with the immortal soul. The Greeks continued this tradition. In the healing sanctuaries of Asclepius, seekers would undergo purification rituals, offer sacrifices, and finally sleep within the temple, hoping for a dream that would reveal the source of their illness or the path to healing. This process was known as incubation, literally to lie down and await revelation. But it wasn't just about health. The mystery schools of the Orphic, Eleusinian, and Hermetic traditions treated dreams as the inner theater of the soul, where symbols, archetypes, and divine forces interacted beyond the bounds of reason. For them, to dream was to remember who you are beneath the veil of incarnation. In the East, similar reverence prevailed. Hindu mystics classified dream states into distinct levels, some illusory, others deeply spiritual. In yogic teachings, the dream state, svapna, was one of the four fundamental states of consciousness, each revealing a layer of reality. Tibetan Buddhists developed dream yoga, an esoteric practice that trains the practitioner to remain aware during sleep, using dreams as a vehicle for enlightenment and liberation. Meanwhile, in the Islamic world, the Sufi mystics viewed dreams as gifts from the Malakut, the unseen realm of angels and spiritual forces. They spoke of true dreams, Aruyas Saliha, as visions placed in the heart by the divine itself, so pure that no interpretation was needed, only recognition. Across cultures and centuries, one truth remains constant. Dreams are not meaningless. They are a dimension of experience, a spiritual practice, a language of symbols encoded in the very fabric of consciousness. Modern science may explain the chemical processes of sleep, but it cannot decode the sacred architecture of a dream. For that, we must return to the ancient way, not with superstition, but with reverence. Not with logic alone, but with the intuition of the heart. Esoteric dream work is not about controlling dreams. It is about collaborating with them. Understanding that the dream space is not just internal, but interdimensional. A realm where spiritual truths are clothed in images, where the unconscious and the divine meet and converse through metaphor. And like any sacred language, it requires learning. The modern mind often rushes to interpret, to define, to dissect. But the esoteric path asks us to listen, to observe, to record, to sit with the image, the symbol, the sensation, until its inner truth emerges naturally, like light from a flame. As we move into the core of this teaching, we will begin to unpack how this symbolic language works, how to recognize the patterns, trace their origins, and invite deeper messages to emerge. You are not just the dreamer. You are also the one being dreamed. To walk the path of esoteric dream work, one must first understand this. A dream is not a story to be solved. It is a mirror to be entered. Every symbol, every face, every shifting landscape within your dream is a reflection of your own inner architecture. Alive, intelligent, and encoded with purpose. But these reflections do not speak in the linear language of the waking world. They speak in symbols, they whisper in metaphor, and they test your patience. The first step in decoding this symbolic language is to shift your mindset from interpretation to relationship. In modern terms, we often treat dreams like puzzles, meant to be solved and discarded. But esoteric wisdom tells us something far more profound. Dreams are beings in themselves, living, sentient structures of your deeper psyche, communicating with your waking self through images, emotions, and mystery. Take, for example, a dream of falling. In popular culture, it's interpreted as a fear of failure. But within the esoteric tradition, falling may represent a descent into the subconscious, an initiation into deeper layers of the self. The feeling of falling, helplessness, surrender, release, can often tell you more than the imagery alone. The dream is not simply telling you something, it's immersing you in it. Let's look at 3 foundational principles in esoteric dream analysis. 1. Symbolic reflection. Everything in the dream is a fragment of you. The angry stranger, the crumbling house, the sudden appearance of an owl in the window. These are not random details. They are fractal pieces of your own being, mirroring unresolved tensions, forgotten gifts, or spiritual calls. Carl Jung, who came closer than most modern thinkers to the esoteric tradition, called these reflections archetypes. But long before Jung, the mystics saw dreams as a sacred theater where gods and shadows alike came to play, not to confuse you, but to awaken you. Ask, what part of me does this symbol reflect? Where have I met this energy before in my waking life? What feeling does it carry? 2. Emotion as compass. In dreams, emotion is the key signature. While the images may shift wildly, a tiger becomes a wave, a friend becomes a ghost. The emotional tone often remains stable. That emotion is your compass. If a dream leaves you uneasy, joyful, terrified, or deeply still, that resonance points to the message beneath the metaphor. Don't just look at what happened. Feel how it happened. This is where most superficial interpretations fall short. A dream of being chased isn't just fear. It may be unresolved guilt, an inner aspect demanding attention, or a deep truth you've been avoiding. The emotion opens the door to understanding. 3. Dream characters as messengers. Never overlook the figures in your dreams. Whether familiar or strange, human or animal, they often serve as psychic emissaries. Sometimes they are guides. Other times they are shadows, disowned parts of the self seeking reintegration. A wise old man appearing in your dream may not just be a grandfather figure. It could be the archetype of the inner sage, emerging to offer insight. A threatening figure might not be an enemy. It might be a repressed force, powerful and misunderstood. Approach each character not with fear or projection, but with curiosity. Ask, What does this being want to tell me? What lesson do they bring? As we begin to apply these principles, your dreams will start to unfold like layered mandalas, each layer revealing a deeper mystery, each symbol resonating with hidden truth. The key is to return night after night with the reverence of a student and the openness of a seeker. In the next section, we will go even deeper into dreams that are not just personal but transpersonal. Dreams that tap into the collective, the ancestral, the divine. The dream world is a temple. Let's open its inner sanctum. Most people believe that dreams originate solely from the mind, your fears, your desires, your memory. But this is only the outer circle of the map. In esoteric dream work, we soon discover something far more astonishing. Some dreams do not come from you, they come through you. These are dreams of light and thunder, dreams that feel older than your name, dreams that shake you from sleep with a sense that you've touched something sacred or something terrifying. These are what the mystics call transpersonal dreams, experiences that link the dreamer to the collective unconscious, the spirit realm, or even to non-human intelligences. Let us examine 3 categories of transpersonal dreams, each one revealing a deeper layer of your relationship to the unseen world. 1. Archetypal dreams, echoes from the collective. You dream of a black sun rising, of a winged serpent encircling the earth, or of a child glowing with starlight in the center of a ruined temple. These are not dreams born from your daily life. They are symbols of the collective soul, shared across time, cultures, and spiritual lineages. Jung called them archetypes, but in esoteric practice, they are seen as living currents of spiritual energy that reach into your consciousness when your soul is ready. These dreams serve as initiations. They may signal a passage through death and rebirth, a spiritual awakening, or the activation of ancient memory. When an archetypal dream arrives, it's not asking you to decode it like a puzzle. It's calling you to live it. Meditate on the image, paint it, chant its feeling, let it transform you. 2. Ancestral and karmic dreams, the echoes within the blood. Some dreams seem to carry the weight of lifetimes. You may dream of places you've never been but know intimately. You may meet ancestors long forgotten, or be thrust into the experience of another life altogether. These dreams are echoes through the bloodline. They may reveal unfinished karmic loops, ancestral patterns, or inherited spiritual gifts. In some traditions, these are referred to as soul fragments or ancestral burdens that you've been chosen to resolve. Do not fear them. These dreams are sacred tasks, your soul volunteering to heal what others could not. When you wake from such a dream, write it down in detail. Then ask, what needs to be forgiven? What must be remembered? 3. Visitations and interdimensional contact. There are dreams that do not feel like dreams at all. You may awaken with the clear memory of being in a temple of light, speaking with beings of radiant intelligence. Or perhaps you encounter a departed loved one who speaks truths you could not have known. Some report being taught strange symbols, sacred languages, or even being healed by unseen hands. These are not products of the subconscious. These are visitations, whether from guides, ancestors, astral entities, or higher aspects of your own soul. These dreams indicate contact with the spirit realm. Such dreams often carry a different texture, a luminous clarity that lingers for days. You may awaken with a word or phrase burning in your mind, or a sense of peace that defies logic. These are spiritual downloads. Treat them with reverence. Record everything. They are often timed with moments of transformation in your life. In esoteric dream work, the personal and the transpersonal are not separate, they are layered. As you grow in dream awareness, the border between the self and the cosmos begins to blur. You are not just dreaming, you are being dreamt by the universe itself. So the next time you close your eyes and drift into that silent world, Remember this: you are not going to sleep. You are entering a sanctuary, a library, temple, and the keepers of that temple are watching to see if you're ready to listen. In the next section, we will explore how to prepare yourself practically for this sacred work, from rituals to recall techniques, and how to awaken in your dreams without breaking the spell. To walk the dream path with clarity and reverence, you must approach it as you would a sacred rite. Dream work is not passive. It is a spiritual practice, a cultivation of inner silence and symbolic fluency. It is not enough to simply remember dreams. You must begin to listen to them and eventually to converse with the dream realm. Let us now step into the practical first steps of this esoteric journey. 1. Prepare the temple of sleep. Before you sleep, the body must be still, the mind quiet, and the soul open. Your bedroom becomes a ritual space, a portal. Cleanse the space. Burn frankincense, palo santo, or sage. These scents signal to the subtle realms that your space is sacred. Dim the lights, your pineal gland responds to darkness. Reduce stimuli before sleep. No screens, loud music, or intense conversations. Set an intention. Whisper a phrase such as, "I welcome guidance from the higher realms," or "Show me what I most need to understand." Speak as though a presence is listening, because it is. Even a simple practice like placing amethyst or moonstone under your pillow, or drawing a sigil of consciousness on your hand before sleep, helps align your vibration with the subtler frequencies of the dream world. 2. Dream recall. Catching the morning ghost. The first seconds after waking are critical. Dreams dissolve like mist unless captured. Keep a dream journal beside your bed. The moment you wake, write everything: symbols, feelings, words, people, even if it makes no sense. Write in present tense: I walk through the mirror, not I walked. This keeps the energy alive. Note colors, emotions, and changes in environment. These are often more meaningful than the plot. If you wake in the night, don't dismiss the dream. Write a keyword or draw a quick image. These fragments often become clear with time. 3. Symbol tracking. Building your inner lexicon. Each dreamer has a personal symbolic language, and the dream world will speak to you using images tailored to your psyche. Over time, track recurring symbols. Snakes, mirrors, stairs, oceans, particular people. What do they feel like? What happens when they appear? Meditate on the symbols during the day. Ask, what part of me does this represent? Create a symbolic glossary in your dream journal. This becomes your Rosetta Stone, the key to understanding the messages being sent from deeper realms. 4. Conscious dreaming, the first seeds of lucidity. Eventually, you may begin to awaken within the dream. This is the gateway to lucid dreaming, where you become the co-creator. To prepare, throughout the day, ask, am I dreaming? While looking at your hands, a clock, or a mirror. Eventually, this question will arise within a dream. Drink mugwort tea or practice light meditation before sleep. Mugwort has long been used by shamans to thin the veil between waking and dreaming. When you achieve lucidity, don't try to control the dream. Instead, observe and inquire. Ask, what do you want me to see? Or show me my true self. Then listen. 5. Protective practices. Not every dream is gentle. As you open the gates, you must also learn to shield yourself. Create a psychic boundary. Imagine a sphere of gold light surrounding your body as you fall asleep. Call upon guardians. Whether you invoke an angelic name, a spiritual guide, or simply your higher self, affirm that only truthful and benevolent energies may approach. Dream work is not without risk, but the rewards are immense. You are beginning a dialogue with the sacred unknown, and the dream world, once obscure, will start to respond. You now have the foundational tools to begin. But remember, the dream realm reveals itself slowly. as trust is built between your waking mind and your inner spirit. Every night, you lie down and surrender to sleep. But what if that descent is not a departure, but a return? A return to a realm where the soul speaks in symbols, and the deeper truths of your being emerge in veiled language. Your dreams are not random. They are encrypted letters from the sacred, written in the ink of your subconscious and sealed with the stamp of spirit. By taking the first steps in esoteric dream work, you begin a process far more profound than psychological analysis. You are cultivating inner vision. You are reawakening the ancient skill of walking between worlds, as the shamans, prophets, and mystics once did. And in doing so, you reclaim a birthright long forgotten in the modern age: the ability to hear the hidden voice that guides you from within. The preparation of sacred space, the capturing of fleeting dream whispers, the decoding of symbols and subtle energies. Each of these is a thread that weaves a bridge between waking life and the dreaming realm. And as that bridge strengthens, you may begin to sense a pattern, a message unfolding across nights and symbols. You may even glimpse a higher intelligence behind it all, not foreign, but deeply familiar. Dream work is not merely about personal insight, it is a path of awakening. As you learn to read the dream, you begin to read your own soul. You find your forgotten power, your hidden wounds, and your sacred calling, all written in the stars of your inner sky. So tonight, do not simply fall asleep. Enter your dreams as a seeker, a student, a silent witness. Keep your journal by your side, your mind open, your heart prepared. The dreams are waiting. The question is, will you learn to listen?